Mehmed's army arrived in the barren city of Targovist and was welcomed with a spectacle from the worst depths of hell. The once vibrant city was now hushed, Vlad's fury shone on its streets. Before Mehmed's gaze, kilometers of impaled victims stretched out like a forest, each stake a testament to the savagery of his opponent. Their carcasses allowed to fester beneath the sun, more than 20,000 Turks, impaled in hideous forms. Hamza Pasha, shown as Vlad's macabre centerpiece, had the highest stake. The scene was horrifying, some with corpses still writhing in agony, others long dead, forming a nightmare depiction of death. The Ottoman Empire was devastated by the sheer enormity of the impalement and the deliberate violence used in it. Vlad the Impaler's name came to be associated with horror, a result of his merciless approach to warfare. First, we must be familiar with the geographic landscape of 15th century Wallachia, if we want to understand the story of Vlad Dracula and Mehmed II. Located between the Danube River and the Carpathian Mountains, Wallachia was an asset under dispute between the Ottoman Empire and the Kingdom of Hungary, two major powers. Imagine living in a country where allegiance changed like sand beneath, and where survival called for both strength and deceit. Leaders known as Wallachian voivodes walked a dangerous tightrope with their allegiance wavering between these regional titans. Vlad II, voivode of Wallachia until 1447, was not unusual in his risky dancing. He had joined the Order of the Dragon, a group committed to protect Christian Europe against Ottoman menace. If you're captivated by stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to Ancient Perspectives for more epic tales of history's greatest figures and moments. Hit the bell icon to never miss an adventure into the past. From this, he came to be known as Vlad Vlad the Dragon and his offspring, including the future Vlad the Impaler, as Dracula, meaning son of the dragon. Vlad II brought his sons, Radu and Vlad, to the Ottoman court as captives in a last-ditch effort to maintain his conflicting allegiances. They lived as slaves for 4 long years, and it was during this period that young Vlad met paths with Prince Mehmed, a relationship developed in chains that would subsequently explode into a fatal rivalry. The Ottomans sensed a chance when friends of the powerful Hungarian ruler John Hunyadi slew Vlad II in 1447. Vlad was released from captivity as they thought he would be a compliant ally. They were misguided, nevertheless. Vlad's destiny wavers until 1456, when he at last claimed Wallachian crown. Mehmed had climbed to the Ottoman throne by then, seizing the fabled city of Constantinople and staring into the Balkans. Imagine the suspense. Former comrade turned terrifying enemy, both fighting for dominance in a society where treachery was always around. Perhaps expecting for a unified Christian crusade against the Ottomans, Vlad refused to pay the annual tribute of money and young recruits to Sultan Mehmed in 1459. But the distracted European kings and princes left Vlad to contend with the fury of the Ottoman Empire alone. Mehmed was more preoccupied during this period, wiping off the final traces of the Byzantine Empire in Trebizond and the Morea in Greece. Still, Ottoman raiding teams into Wallachia and Vlad's reprisals into Ottoman territory just served to accentuate the inevitable nature of a big face-off at the end. Sultan Mehmed and Vlad seemed to have at last reconciled late in 1461. Kind of. Vlad told the Sultan he could pay him in horses and children, but he lacked the funds. The Sultan thus dispatched Hamza Pasha, an ambassador, to Vlad's capital at Targovist for discussions. But Wallachia's location between two great powers would see it once more caught in intrigues, as Meh found Vlad was surreptitiously talking with the Hungarian monarch Matthias Corvinus. Inviting Vlad to Giurgiu, an Ottoman-held city on the Danube, Hamza Pasha planned a trap for him. But Vlad was considerably more shrewd than his blood-sucking vampire would have you think. In the 5 or so years he had been leader, he had concentrated power in his domain, although mercilessly, and improved the capability of his government via restructure of administration. Therefore, it should not surprise us too much to learn that Vlad discovered the trap of Hamza Pasha. Before continuing on to Giurgiu, Vlad arranged an ambush of his own, capturing Hamza Pasha and his 1,000 men. Clearly learned during his time as a prisoner, he managed to induce the Ottoman soldiers to unlock the gates of the stronghold by disguising himself and speaking fluent Turkish. Following the murder of everybody within the stronghold, he campaigned throughout southern Wallachia and possibly northern Bulgaria, following his crossing of the frozen Danube. Targeting Turks and Ottoman loyalists, Vlad boldly stated in a letter to the Hungarian king that he had slain 23,484 Turks. That excluded those who were executed and those burnt in their houses. Thousands of Turks left south carrying horrifying tales that just helped to incite empire-wide fear. Sultan Mehmed personally commanded an army of around 50,000 men into Wallachia by May 1462. Once a barrier, the Danube River was now a war route. Mehmed's army reinforced their approach with a powerful fleet when the ice thawed, using their navy across the river. The Ottomans started their crossing on June 1st and had passed into Wallachian territory by June 4th. Using every guerrilla warfare method, Vlad, with a significantly smaller force, harassed and slowed down the Ottoman approach. In terms of warfare as much as heat, 1462's summer was terrible. Mehmed headed toward Vlad's capital, Targovist, over the thick Wallachia forest. To deny the invading Ottoman supplies, Vlad had deliberately moved the people and animals of southern Wallachia. He made the ground a lethal tangle by setting contingency soldiers throughout the forest. The boldness of Vlad Dracula almost changed the path of history on June 17th night, 1462. Vlad's men sought to kill Mehmed personally by launching a surprise attack on the Ottoman camp. Vlad's men struck, killing many defenseless Ottoman troops with flaming torches and bugles screaming. But the Sultan's elite janissaries kept him safe, and Vlad's attack, though terrible, did not kill Mehmed. Should a far stronger power attack your country, what would you do? Would you fight from the shadows or stand in battle? Mehmed's army arrived in the barren city of Targovist and was welcomed with a spectacle from the worst depths of hell. The once vibrant city was now hushed, Vlad's fury shone on its streets. Before Mehmed's gaze, kilometers of impaled victims stretched out like a forest, each stake a testament to the savagery of his opponent. Their carcasses allowed to fester beneath the sun, more than 20,000 Turks, impaled in hideous forms. Hamza Pasha, shown as Vlad's macabre centerpiece, had the highest stake. The scene was horrifying, some with corpses still writhing in agony, others long dead, forming a nightmare depiction of death. The Ottoman Empire was devastated by the sheer enormity of the impalement and the deliberate violence used in it. Vlad the Impaler's name came to be associated with horror, a result of his merciless approach to warfare. Mehmed invited Radu, Vlad's younger brother, to contest the throne after learning Wallachian politics as well as Vlad did. Many Wallachian nobility backed Radu after Vlad's cruel policies turned them off. Betrayed by his erstwhile friend, the Hungarian king, Vlad spent 13 years behind bars. Still, his narrative continued beyond that. Vlad momentarily took back the Wallachian throne in 1476, only to be killed in combat by an Ottoman-backed competitor. Though his death signaled the end of a reign engulfed in blood and horror, his legacy persisted in inspiring stories of vampirism and everlasting violence. The sheer severity of Vlad the Impaler's techniques caught me when I first came upon them. Hearing about battles and conquests is one thing, however, another is picturing the forest of the impaled, a sobering reminder of the extremes of human action in the sake of power. Make sure you subscribe and set the alert bell if you found this trip into the dark core of history as intriguing as I did. Come along as we explore from the annals of history more stories of mystery, treachery, and power. Remember also to leave comments below reflecting your opinions on which aspect of Vlad Dracula's narrative most startled you.